That was a good one.
That was the last time that I walked out of a movie like messed up for a couple of days. And Infinity War was the same thing. Like I walked out and look, I read Infinity Gauntlet when I was a kid. Like so I know, but to see it play out and to see it play out the way that it did, it was jarring. It was really jarring. And I know they're gonna fix everything and they'll retcon everything. It'll be fine. But I thought that was some great movie making by them to take you to that place. So my issue is now that you've taken me to that place, now that I'm in this place, enough with the jokes. Enough with the haha and the clown. Oh my God, he's using the truck as a scooter. You can take that, you can turn it sideways, and you can stick it. So that's where I was with this, and I've been in a grumpy mood since Saturday night because of it.
It was something just to clean the palate with, Lawrence. That's all it was.
All right.
Don't go too deep with it. Just set up because Captain Marvel's next.
You're giving it a pass, dude.
Oh, I mean, I kind of.
You're giving it a pass.
I am giving it a pass because I kind of knew going in what it was just kind of going to be about. Not stink, but it was nothing. Going right after Infinity War, you knew it was going to be something a complete 180. So I just kind of went in knowing what I was going to get. Now, like I said, set up for Captain Marvel, then I think it's going right back into Avengers 4. So just a clean palette. It's okay, y'all. I'm here for you. It's all right.
I feel like it would have been better served. Like now that I've seen both movies, it would have been better served to have Ant-Man go first.
Yep.
Because I actually think that as a cliffhanger would have really blended into what Infinity War was. And that way you can have your fun with Paul Rudd for 2 hours.
Exactly.
And then at the end you walk out and you're like, what just
I think cinematically it is supposed to be before that, but I don't know. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying.
Until the cutscene. Then the cutscene, of course, took place after the battle. At the first cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which as you said, we all knew what happened when he didn't get the mic wasn't cut. And you was like, oh, okay. Like we all knew what took place.
Got dusted.
right.
Yeah.
Got dusted.
But I feel like if you do that, if
right.
if that's the way you end Ant-Man before you go into Infinity War, you're stuck going, wait, what? What is going on right now? I feel like it works better the other way.
I agree with you.
Maybe I'm overthinking this.
No. I think you're 100% right. I think if you actually was to watch the movies in the correct order, that would be the correct order. They just released it.
I think the only issue, we're comic guys.
Yes.
So it wouldn't have really made us mad. But for people that are kind of getting into Marvel, they would have automatically known that Thanos won the first battle, which we know in any movie, the villain, if it's a two-parter, is going to win usually the first part of the movie. Or at least they're going to show you him still alive and there's a chance he can come back. So what you're saying, it would definitely be cool, but I think a lot of the people that don't follow this hard would have been like, when they got to Infinity War, would have been like, oh, we kind of already know what's taking place, which I still think it would have been better, like you're saying.
And remember, we are talking about a 10-year run of all these movies for a lot of people who don't follow comic books like we do.
It's true.
So if somebody come in the first time, listen, it's still people to leave before the credits end.
Yeah.
Like, come on, how
Yeah.
have been doing this for 10 years? You still leaving? So it's a whole nother group of people that probably loved it. It's like, man, yeah, that was funny. That was, they're just not used to it. They're not into it.
I feel bad for the people who know, who bring people who don't know about that. That you'll be in the theater and you'll see like a couple and one of them doesn't understand that we have to sit through all of this.
Have you ever yelled at somebody that you didn't know, like, you gotta sit down?
No.
You
I let people walk.
You let people go?
If you want to walk.
Yeah, get it out of here.
If you want, it just makes it quieter for me.
Exactly.
Makes it a better experience.
We were the only two left. Me and my son were the only two left. No one came for the last cutscene at the very end. Everybody was gone. And it's just me, him, and the person cleaning up the theater. And it's like you said, I'm not telling you anything.
Okay.
Go ahead, go to the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you're on at the parking lot, you're looking at your phone, you're like, oh,
Yeah, okay.
I could have learned something. I love that they do that. They're not the first. There are actually some classic movies that had actually done some of that stuff. And I used to love like you watch the old stupid Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise movies, and they would do the blooper reel. Yeah, like the blooper reel. Like like you have like the blooper reel stuff, and I always thought that was great. I would love to see that if Marvel did a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It would be fun to do. And to me, Ant-Man's a perfect movie to do that.
There you go.
I'm tired of talking to Ant-Man, man.
There's your movie. All right, well we can talk about other stuff.
It's trash.
I'm glad you went that hard.
It's trash, man. That's like, it's trash.
All right, we can stop. I just wanted
No,
to.
I'm not telling you. You ride how you ride, but it's trash. It's trash, man. It's garbage.
Ken didn't like it, y'all.
It wasn't. Visually, it was entertaining, but the plot, from when it hit me, I was like, that plot was trash. Nah, dude, that was like when my son's like, yeah, it's telling you something.
Well, Tony and Ken has introduced me to something new. I don't know if you watch it, Lawrence. Westworld.
One of the best shows of all time.
I don't go that far, but do you watch it?
I have not watched it yet.
Okay. I binged it in about 3 or 4 days. It's only 2 seasons, 10 episodes.
I know. I mean, White Panther. She loves it.
She watches it?
Yeah, she watches it.
How dare you?
I know.
She loves it, and you haven't stepped into this world.
There's like all sorts of other stuff that I'm doing, and she got me into Game of Thrones. So I binged all the way up to the beginning of last season so that we could watch last season
Okay.
together.
That's cool.
And I feel like, that, like I'm like kind of take a breath. And there was other stuff that I've wanted to watch, so I just haven't. I've heard it's confusing. That's what I've heard about
It
Westworld.
won't be confusing for you.
No, it's not confusing.
It's not confusing.
I mean, compared to Game of Thrones, this is like a Dr. Seuss book.
Really?
Nah, that's not true.
In a sense, it's not.
No, that's not
Game of Thrones is like layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer. Then you have to bring up the actual book and then read that, and then go to the internet and read something.
Nah.
You can just kind of watch Westworld and you'll get it.
Nah, that's not true.
He
He just joined the Westworld
It's
crew,
very true.
so he's speaking of stuff he knows not. Game of Thrones, it's the funny part of Game of Thrones, and we both love Game of Thrones. What makes Westworld in some ways better than Game of Thrones is Game of Thrones has the cheat of magic. Westworld, since it's based off of science, basically has to really explain everything. The plot has to be pretty intelligent. Not saying Game of Thrones hasn't been bad. It has had some fluff seasons. About 2 years when they got past the book, Game of Thrones was kind of like, what are you doing? Let's be honest here. It's maybe time to wrap this up. But Westworld is very layered. I would say in some ways it's more layered than Game of Thrones. You're right. Game of Thrones has the history, and we know the prequels go back or maybe 10,000 years when that comes out to HBO in a few years. But Westworld, being based off of science, is a whole different beast. I think anybody will enjoy it, but I think anybody that's intelligent will really enjoy it. Most people say season 1's better than season 2. Season 2 is definitely better than season 1. That's what you really got to get to. Once you get to season 2 and how really layered it is, you really, like every episode after the end of it, you're going to be like, I can't really believe what just happened. Like, it's really good.
Jeffrey Wright is part of Westworld, right?
I'm not sure.
I think so.
I'm not the. I
know the dude who wrote Jurassic Park wrote the original Westworld book, and then they made a movie out of it, and then it was a sequel that he had nothing to do with it, and it was a sequel after that. But I mean, it's a great story. I'm not gonna go into the whole thing about it being the greatest of all time. Everybody out there listening, I guess you can text or call in to Lawrence to let him know if you think the same way Ken thinks. I'm definitely not there, but it is a very, very good show.
If you like Lost, this is way better. Because Lost let us all down.
Yeah, I think about
Yeah, that
that.
last season was the loss was bad. Yeah.
That last.
This is everything Lost cheated you out of. For so far, mind you, it's only 2 seasons.
It's only 2 seasons.
But if Lost, if you felt, some people are amazed by how mad I am at Lost. If Lost lets you down, Westworld will hold you down right now.
Okay, well, yeah, I love Jeffrey Wright. I'll watch Jeffrey Wright read the phone book. Like, I think that he's just amazing. So, if he's in it, I'm down. I will definitely put it on the list.
You like it?
We just finished Luke Cage.
I haven't honestly.
Oh, Ken with the eye roll on season 2. Here's my critique of season 2 of Luke Cage.
Okay, what you had?
It was 2 episodes too long. Like episode, I want to say like 9 and 10 were superfluous. They could have moved on from that, and they could have gotten us to where we were without those extra hours of time.
Better than season 1?
No, I thought it was still solid. I enjoy Bushmaster, and that dude, I don't know who he is. I don't even know if he's actually Jamaican, but he got me out here saying brethren all the time. Now, and Stokes. You gotta say it like him, Stokes. I thought that I really enjoy, like, one of the things I do like about Luke Cage is that it shows so many different black lives, like, and how different, like, each community can be. How there's a difference between what a black guy in Harlem is like versus a black guy in Queens, what the black experience is in America versus the black experience in Jamaica. Like, and they do that quite a bit. You know, what it's like to live in Harlem, which is, you know, in Manhattan, but not be of man. There's a lot of cool stuff about it. I thought some of the music was incredible in season 2. And Thomas Jones, I thought, was great. I thought he was great.
I've only watched two episodes so far.